When you train your mind to believe what the word has given you, it is hard for you to accept anything. And that means even if the doctors pronounce some type of sickness over you, you have a decision to make. Whose report are you going to believe? Are you hearing what I'm saying? And if you believe no weapon formed against you shall prosper, do you understand one of the enemy's weapons is sickness? Because sickness will manipulate your body in such a way, it will mess with your confession. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And that's why sickness is one of the most powerful weapons of the enemy, because most people don't understand that you have to be in tune with the word and not listening to your body and let it speak through you. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Candace said it this morning this way. She said she discovered that as long as she kept buying in and speaking about epilepsy, she was having epileptic seizures. She would say things like, I can't watch that because if I watch that, the flashing lights, or I can't look at this, or I can't do that. And she said once she realized that her confession was actually helping to perpetuate what was taking place in her body, she began to change her confession. See, when you change your confession, y'all ain't gonna help me. It redirects everything in your body. See, your neural pathways have to speak a different language. And when you speak a different language, your body has to line up with what you're saying, especially if what you're saying is according to the word. In other words, I'm not depressed. How come I'm not depressed? I already got a weapon that counteracts depression. For he's given me the garment of praise to drive out the spirit of heaviness. And so if the weapon is working, it's because you don't know what you're working with. And when you know when you're working with, the weapon won't work. I ain't got no help right now. No assault is final. Even if it appears to be prospering, it's not over yet. Even if it looks like the enemy is winning the battle, somebody holler, he won't win the war. The Most High takes a very serious approach when he talks about how the weapons that are formed won't prosper. He starts off in verse 16 saying, why are you tripping? I formed the blacksmith. I formed the smith who blows the coals on the fire. So I can tell you why it gonna work, because everything that he can create, I put it in him to have the ability to it. In actuality, the blacksmith has been created to push you. He's been created to provoke you to live by faith. Am I talking to the right people? In other words, faith is not faith until it's tested. And the truth of the matter is, let me just share this with you about faith. Faith is the moving cause of all action. In other words, you got to understand the only person that has the key to your possibilities in life is you. And you have to make sure that you pull the trigger and make a choice to activate your faith. So in other words, the moment that something happened, you have to make the choice to act. And how you act will determine the outcome. So in other words, you get a diagnosis that you're going to die, or you're going to have this, or you're going to have that. Right there, you are now being provoked to live by faith, which means I'm going to have to believe something that I've been told by him that I can't see. And I see the report, I see the MRI, I see the x-ray, but let me tell you something. What he says takes precedence over what anybody could ever say to me. Am I talking to the right people? So when the doctor told me back in January, he said, if you would have waited 4 days later, you would have bled to death and died. The truth of the matter is, I can't go nowhere. Do you understand that there is no weapon that is formed against me that can prosper? It may look like it will work in my body. For a minute, look like it wasn't responding. But as I begin to plead the blood over the blood I was losing, y'all ain't gonna help me. My body begin to heal itself, because the truth of the matter is, God was waiting on me to respond to what was happening in faith. You gotta say something different when trouble comes. You can't say what you've been saying before you knew him. You can't say what you've been saying. Y'all ain't gonna talk. You know how many people in the church don't live by faith? That most people in the church live from performance to performance. Y'all ain't gonna help me. But there's gonna be some times that your dance ain't gonna be enough. There's gonna be some times that your church position ain't gonna be enough. You gotta be able to walk by faith and not by sight, and be able to speak the word to your situation until you see something different. I thought I had somebody here that believed, but if I got about 2 or 3 people, I dare you to jump on your feet and shout, I win. Okay, let's take it a little further. Let's take it a little further. Your kid's mother was given a diagnosis of what? Stage 4 cancer. Okay. And so he said, cuz, I need you to pray with me. I said, absolutely no problem, but do you know that she's already healed? Yes, she's already healed. You know, I know it. I'm just asking you to set yourself in agreement with me according to the word. See, this is the response of a person that believes that even if you get negative, shout negative. negative information, you arrested with the word. So what is he coming from? Matthew 18 and 19. If two should touch and agree on anything, it should be done in the Father which is in heaven. And so we didn't agree because we touched hands. We agreed because we believed the same thing he said. And in the moment we come into agreement with what we believed that he said, all of a sudden this woman who has stage 4 cancer goes back to the doctor and they can't find no cancers. Why? Because instead of responding in our emotions like it's a death sentence, we started realizing it was an opportunity for us to live by faith. Look and say, what's happening to me? It's provoking me to faith. Let me try that again. Say, what's happening to me? It's provoking me to faith. And so when you start feeling symptoms in your body, you have to tell your body it ain't working. Let me try it again. I said, when you start feeling symptoms in your body, you have to say the weapon you formed ain't working. Wait a minute, but I feel my fingertips going, no, it ain't working. Wait a minute, but I feel my hip it's not working. Wait a minute. I just got done vomiting. It still ain't working. But wait a minute. My vision is getting a little blurry from the headaches that I'm having. It still ain't working. Wait a minute. I'm a little bit confused. Pastor Rodney, I'm confused because I feel the symptoms, but you got to tell yourself it ain't working. I just came to talk to a few people real quick in here. Yeah, I feel a numbness in my face and a twitching in the muscles in my face, but it ain't working. I'm so convinced that it ain't working, I'll start praising now. Y'all ain't gonna help me. I'm so convinced it ain't working, I'll start shouting now. I'm so convinced that it ain't working, I'll lift my hands and say thank you. Let me try to help y'all catch up. I'll lift my hands and say thank you. Y'all ain't gonna help me. Since I know it ain't working, I'll pick them up and put them out, right? Since I know it ain't working, I'll just wave my hand, right? I'll testify, right? I'll shout hallelujah, right? I thought I had some help right here. Look at somebody and say, I win.